Even before this rough winter in the east and south and the current drought in the west, extreme weather had been pushing food prices up over the past several years. Even so, the government's consumer price index is showing little or no inflation. Well, try telling that to shoppers in the supermarket checkout line. Here's Michelle Miller.
I'd like the government to stop by my house, come food shopping with me, and see where the real costs are.
Writer Jen Singer, mother of 2 teenage boys, wrestles with her grocery list every week to keep the household budget from getting away from her.
We go through one of these every couple days. It's a big part of my take-home pay. An apple a day, can't afford it at these prices. Save 90 cents.
It's not her imagination. While the government says prices are up 6.4% since 2011, chicken is up 18.4%, ground beef up 16.8%, and bacon is skyrocketed up 22.8%.
Oh my God.
Making it a holiday when it's on sale.
Bacon for $3. Things that are going up in price are the things that I absolutely need to buy. It's the meat, it's the milk, it's the eggs, and it's getting out of hand. $8.32 for this.
ConvergeX market strategist Nick Colas.
Moms can really tell the government a lot about inflation. Food inflation is far greater than the government thinks it is.
But the big problem for families, wages are not budging.
If my income isn't going up, how am I going to keep up with inflation?
Median income is up only 1% a year. For Singer, that makes it hard to save for college tuition, which has been rising 6 to 8% every year for 5 decades.
The price of college is terrifying. And so we're looking at cheaper schools or scholarships, I hope. Run faster in track. That would really help me out a lot.
Many are concerned that while economists paint a benign picture, middle-class families are quietly struggling.
The disconnect is severe because it's the economists that make policy, but it's the people that have to live with the outcome of that policy, and that disconnect is growing to the point where I think it has to break soon.
Now I keep the heat down. We might as well wear a parka around here because it's the only way I can save money on heating.
As the costs go higher and the budget battle continues,
now this is a great price.
Every now and then,
Saving $6.
a victory. Michelle Miller, CBS News.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth of sincerity throughout the 4 corners of the earth. Okay, what you just seen right there was an Edomite, okay, a so-called white woman, okay, who are the biblical Edomites, struggling, okay, with her food shopping. All right? And these are the so-called white people complain about their food prices going up. All right? While you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, all right, you don't make as much money as the so-called white man and woman. I want to know how you're doing in this, all right? So, let's get to scriptures because this is the proof once again that America, okay, is rotting out. America is suffering to a point that it just has to be destroyed, which it will be, all right? And the proof is that even these so-called white people are feeling the impact of America, man, and its downfall. All right, so let's go to the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 13. Thou shalt not thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until this morning. Right. So that's a law that you're not supposed to defraud thy neighbor, okay? No, rob him, okay, and hold his wages. Now, this woman just said that her wages are not increasing, but her food prices are increasing, okay? So that's robbing, okay? That's stealing. And yet, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you don't have a problem with this, do you, huh? Right? These heathens, you shouldn't even care. You shouldn't care, okay, if they like America or not. You should be asking yourself, wait a minute, man. If this so-called white woman is being defrauded and her wages are being taken from her, and I know damn well I don't make as much money as this so-called white woman, what do I fit in? All right? Let's go to the next one. Deuteronomy 24, verse 15. At his day thou shalt give him his hire, neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor. for he is poor, and setteth heart upon it, lest he cry against thee unto the Lord, and it be sin unto thee. That's right, to sin, to hold someone's wages. See, in the ancient world, okay, when righteousness was ruling, when the Hebrew Israelites were ruling, okay, the 12 tribes, all right, when you pay a man, okay, when it's time to pay a man, you pay him that day he worked. So whatever he worked that day, you're supposed to pay him that very same day. America doesn't do that. So this country claims to be a Christian nation. This country claims to be holier than thou, yet they break the Deuteronomy 24 verse 15 law, okay? Once again, you so-called black, Spanish, and Native Americans, where do you fit in this picture, man? Okay? If you're not coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments, where are you going to fit in this? All right? The so-called white woman is complaining. So that's how you know America's over, man. Let's go to now articles. Reuters.com. All right, this just came out a couple of days ago. It says rising gasoline rents push U.S. inflation higher in September. It says U.S. consumer prices recorded their biggest gain in 5 months in September as the cost of gasoline and rents surged, pointing to a steady pickup of inflation that can keep the Federal Reserve on track to raise interest rates in December. Okay, so what is inflation? Hold on. Let's get to a definition of inflation, because right now they're looking to see inflation going. They want inflation to go up so they can raise the interest rates. All right. Let's go to Investopedia. Inflation. What is inflation? Inflation is the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services is rising, and consequently, the purchasing power of currency is failing, meaning you have a weak dollar. Okay? Central banks attempt to limit inflation and avoid deflation in order to keep the economy running smoothly, which the Federal Reserve doesn't do. The Federal Reserve is actually put there to keep poor people poor and rich people rich, okay? That's the reason why they like inflation, okay? That's the reason why they want to raise up the interest rates so that the rich stay rich, the poor stay poor, all right? Now watch this. As a result of inflation, the purchasing power of a unit of currency falls. For example, if the inflation rate is 2%, then a pack of gum that costs $1 in a given year will cost $1.02 the next year. As goods and services require more money to purchase, the implicit value of that money falls. Exactly. So when you just saw in that news article right there, that video, the woman's wages was only going up 1%, while her meats were going up well beyond the inflation that their claim was back then. They said 6.3. So there you're having this government is just lying and defrauding people, man. And the problem is that you so-called blacks, Hispanics, y'all don't see this. All right, it's sad, man. It's really sad. So let's continue on. I want to get to the point. With Slovakia. But with rents, which accounts for a larger share of the core CPI, okay, recording their biggest increase in nearly 10 years, and wages pushing higher, comments caution against pushing too much emphasis on last month's weak reading. Here's the point I want to get at. The U.S. Central Bank has 2% inflation target and tracks an inflation measure which is at 1.7%. Fed Vice Chair Stanley Fischer said on Monday that the U.S. Central Bank was very close to its inflation employment percent targets. As inflation approaches 2%, the argument that the economy has more room to run becomes harder to make, and we believe the Fed remains on track to rate hike in December. All right, because then they want to raise the inflation, they want to raise the interest rates. All right. Says the price increase are bad news for retirees, with Social Security recipients only due to get a 0.3% cost of living adjustments increase next year. Households, however, got some relief from food prices of September, which is a lie because you just saw on that one. All right. So this is the federal government just putting truth with lies. You just got to sift it out, which were unchanged for third straight month. So there you go on that. Inflation is moving up, showing this is not an economy that is undergoing serious demand-based weakness. That's right. So we just have it. It says right here, article, rising gasoline rents push U.S. inflation higher in September. All right. So there you have it. All right. Inflation is going up on your gas and on your rent. All right. Food. Okay. So they're pushing all this up so that to keep you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans oppressed, all right? Because the so-called white man and woman, who gives a damn if they're being oppressed or not? This is their kingdom. They should be out there trying to overthrow their government. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you need to get your head in that Bible, all right? So let's get to another scripture. James 5, chapter 5, verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. That's right, because this is all fraud, okay? You rich people are defrauding the world. Mainly our people, the so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all right? You're stealing their wages. You're raising up food prices. You're raising up gas prices. You're raising up rent, okay? You're keeping them oppressed, okay? Your gold and silver is cankered. The rust of them shall be witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last day. That's right, Mr. So-called white man and woman, all right? Because now you have your own woman complaining about the wages. So that goes to show you that you so-called white people don't even care about your own kind, man. That's you guys are grimy. But anyway, this is more proof in the pudding that just to tell you so-called white people that are living good, hey, man, this is the final days that you're going to reap your so-called treasures, your fiat currency, your gold and silver, whatever commodities you want to purchase, whatever anything that's being built, anything latest trends that's being brought out. Hey, live it up, Mr. So-called white man, because this is the last days. This is your last go-around. Verse 4, behold, the hire of the laborers have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud. That's right. You're keeping it back by fraud, okay? You're withholding people's wages. You got you tax them when they work. You tax them everywhere they go. You tax them. I mean, and then people want to act like shit is all gravy here in America, man. You people are stupid. Which of you kept by fraud crieth, and the cries of them have reaped are entering the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. That's right, because the Lord's hearing the cries of the sincere brethren, like the brothers that are in the truth, man. The so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American that woke up to that he's an Israelite, that knows he's being oppressed, man. All right, he's that's who the Lord's hearing, man. And especially if you call on the name Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, because he ain't hearing no other name but that name. So if you're not praying to the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, your prayer is vanity, man. All right, so let's continue on. Fed Yellen sees benefits in letting inflation exceed central bank's 2% target. See, Market Watch. So now the Federal Reserve is saying, let's go over 2% inflation. So let's let food prices, gas prices, rent, okay, anything that has to do with buying something, let it go above 2%. All right. So and this is the bitch, the demon whore, Janet Yellen. Look at her. Look how fucking gremlin. Anyway, continue on. She says it may be wise to run a high-pressure economy with tight labor market to reverse some of the negative effects of the Great Recession. Wait a minute. Then the other article said that things are looking good. Why is it, and this came out about 3 days ago, why is it this article saying that from the Federal Reserve Chairman that they're still feeling the effects of the Great Recession? This is why you can't trust the so-called white man. He's a fucking liar, all right? He's a liar. Fucking his woman's a liar. His children are fucking liars, man. In a speech at Boston Fed conference on the not so great recovery. There you go, man. So another one to get to anything around here. So they're thinking about raising it in December, which I believe they're not going to be able to raise it, all right, because inflation is going to take hold, and so that's going to cause another kink in their so-called projections. Because if they raise interest rates, it's going to mess up everything. It's going to mess up the whole economy. Because now banks are going to have to be, certain banks are going to have to now be charged, okay, for what that interest rate is. Because right now, banks are getting free cash, literally, and then lending it out to you schmucks in America and the rest of the world at an interest rate at their choosing. It's fucking hilarious. And let's see what else it says. She said the Fed guidance that it would hold rates low, which lasted from 2000 to 2004, might be needed again, given that it remains unlikely that reductions in short-term interest rates alone will be adequate response to a future recession. See? So there you have it, man. And so they're not going to raise interest rates, so they rather let inflation rise, okay? Meaning they let the food prices rise, gas prices rise, all right? I don't know if there's anything else in here that I saw that could get to the point. So There you have it. So let me get to the scriptures and just close out. Man, two more scriptures. Three more. Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 22. For what hath man of all his labor and of the vexation of his heart, wherein he hath labor under the sun? That's right. Well, all this laboring, all this working is what? Under the sun. It's vexation to your mind. All right? You're working, you're going in 8 hours, you're pulling 40 hours a week, okay? And that's if you're lucky. Now, I know plenty of people that work at 2 or 3 jobs, all right? So you're out there working hard, okay, for little income, and this is oppression. You're being oppressed. Verse 23, for all his days are sorrows. That's right, it's sorrows. And his travail grief, yea, his heart taketh not rest in the night. This is also, man, that's right, because you're going to sleep all stressed out about your wages, all stressed out about, man, how am I going to make this next income coming in? Not knowing that, hey, man, you need to get your head in the Bible before anything, because this is all vanity, man. All right? The Lord gives you what you need, man. If you're not coming back to the law, statutes, commandments, proclaiming the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, coming back to your nationality of an Israelite, yo, man, you're just gonna be playing in this clown game, this illusion game until the nukes come, all right? Because from current events and scriptures, it proves once again that America's over, all right? So you shouldn't be worrying about when you're at home where you're gonna get your next meal at, all right? If you're a sincere brother, man, you know that pray to the Lord. Haggai chapter 1 verse 6. Ye have so much and bring in little. That's right. You're working hard, right? But you bring in little, nothing, barely anything. You eat, but you have not enough. That's right. You eat what you can, but you can't buy a month's worth of food supply, right? A lot of y'all barely don't even know how to cook. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye cloth, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into bags with holes. That's right. Because all the money you have, man, it's worthless, man. You just need it for your daily bread. Because if you're trying to save up for 10 years from now, we don't even know the way America is going with Russia and America. Hey, nuclear war can happen any minute. Also, the RFID chip is here, so they're gonna start pushing that chip out real soon. Okay, and it'll coincide with this World War III. Okay. So all these saving up money is like the scripture says, he that earneth wages to put it into bags with holes. All right, because it's just gonna go right through, man. You ain't saving nothing. It's just like it's a metaphor. Like, how sand falls out of a bag full of holes. It's like the same thing, man. You paying bills left and right. You ain't got no money for yourself. You're living in Babylon. Malachi chapter 3 verse 5. And I will come near to you to judgment, and I will be swift witness against the sorcerers. That's right, because what the so-called white man is doing is sorcery, all right? These Edomites, all right, at the Federal Reserve and these banking cartels, okay? These so-called Jewish people, what they're not, they're so-called white people, all right? Because they're not, first of all, Jewish is to act like, to pertain to, but that's for another topic. But they're doing sorcery, man. They're manipulating the currency. They're printing money out of thin air. It's all sorcery. And against the adulterers and against false swearers and against those that oppress the hireling and his wages. And that's what you so-called white people have been doing to the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American man and woman, okay, and child. You've been oppressing their wages. So you're going to be put to death for that. The widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside their stranger from his right, and fear not me, saith the Lord of hosts, right? Because first of all, you heathens, you don't even know who the Lord is. You don't fear God. You claim to be a Christian, but you don't fear him, all right? You don't follow the law, statutes, commandments of the Bible. You so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you damn sure don't fear the Lord, okay? That's why you're out there partying, talking about, yeah, I'm going to make it here 10 years from now. Just got to keep grinding, all right? Partying bullshit. That's what you so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are known for, man. Partying and bullshit, man. Because you ain't making any real money. Sorry. Okay? If the so-called white woman in this video suffering, okay, what you so-called blacks and Hispanics doing in this world? Doing, huh? You ain't doing shit, man. But anyway, Lord willing, I hope this was edifying. This is Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. Once again, you just see the times we're living in. America's out, finished. The inflation's rising in America, so get ready. All right, get ready for hard times. All right, and yeah, man. Want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And you already know our slogan: 1, 2, 3, death to America. Shalom.